Oh my God. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He doubled downs and says Tyson Fury did something underhanded with his glove. Her glove cannot keep a smushed in form. And I do believe Tyson Fury did something to his glove. But he said that's okay because the trilogy is among us. And he got something for that. Stay tuned to this video. We working.
Many people, especially in boxing, they did this, Ray. They did that, Ray.
Yeah.
Allowed them to do this. They saw no evil. They heard it, so they didn't speak. And then when you ask about the gloves, well, how do you can't not see that gloves do not bend. Your wrist can't bend unless you double joint it or something. How the hell it bends 90-degree angle? It don't keep a fold in. It don't keep a fold in space. Nor does it have loose space in it. It's impossible. And the way the world and a lot of people in boxing did this right here, I'm doing like that to everybody. Look, they couldn't even knock me out even under that juju. I was under some juice. They couldn't even knock me out. They couldn't even keep me down. Like I said, it took a disloyal trainer to throw the towel in. We know he don't have no power. We know he can't. He gave me the best of him in that ring, and I took it all. I knew what was going on with my body. I felt it when the mask came off. I knew something was wrong with me. I knew I was not right. He got a rap sheet of cheating. He got a rap sheet of abusing drugs. But you talk about a guy like me that ain't got no rap sheet or nothing, just pure power, pure work ethic. But I'm lying, and you got a guy that's known for cheating, and he's telling the truth. I know what I could do. You know what I'm saying? They knew it too, so they had to have something to slow me down. They had to find something that would slow me down. See, they thought they was going to take me out in the second and third round. But that voodoo judo, that gypsy gumbo soup didn't work. So they had to use my trainers. Man, let me stop, bro. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. I don't want to get into all that shit, man.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. Listen, if you love what I'm doing, share the video. Smash the like button. This is how we will operate. This is how we work. I can give you guys the fire content. I need you. Just hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. What's in it for you? I discuss this beautiful sport of boxing, all things boxing, the sweet science, everything. This is your one-stop shop. Share the video, like the video, come back. We working. Now, Deontay Wilder, he was just on the PBC podcast, and he had a lot to say. He had a lot of gems. You know, people are, especially old media, they're going to pick and choose certain aspects. But you see the title of my video. We're going to get straight to it, and I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Before I get started, Wilder looks in phenomenal shape, and mentally he sounds like he's in a very good space. If you listen to the PBC podcast, I did a live stream during it, and it was a great time, and a lot of you guys gave your live reactions as well. Listening to Wilder, sounds like he's really focused, really motivated, and extremely calm and confident, which is what you want to see ahead of a trilogy, an important fight, a title fight, etc. The other thing I like, credit to Fox and PBC real quick, there's that synergy. Wilder did this, and then immediately they posted and made it official. I got a video about that on the channel. This is why you should subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. It simply says, Trilogy fight is on. Deontay Wilder, WBC champ Tyson Fury will fight July 24th in Las Vegas. So now we know it's real. Moving on. One thing Wilder did also cover was the notion that Tyson Fury did something underhanded and cheated in the first fight. And he even kind of demonstrates how is Tyson Fury in the first fight, how is his glove able to bend and flap in the wind and stuff like that. I've made videos about all these things. In fact, here's one of my videos, GLOVEGATE 2. You were the first to hear it. There are no videos before this date about GLOVEGATE 2 on YouTube. Not the first fight, but the second fight. And I said, did Tyson Fury remove padding in the gloves from the Wilder rematch, GLOVEGATE 2.0? 40,000 views roughly. And mysteriously, the pictures that were unlocked and open, you click the link, so I always cite my sources, access denied. You can no longer view after Tyson Fury and this investigation that we launched about how weird Tyson Fury's gloves looked. All of a sudden, the pictures became a thing of the past. and you could no longer access the gallery of pictures which showed Tyson Fury's glove looking extremely abnormal and devoid of any type of padding. So Wilder said in this interview that Tyson Fury is under a microscope. Everything changes now. He says he's rejuvenated, he's in good space, he keeps his circle small, his body tight, pause. He says he's basically in a third or fourth training camp and he feels good. And he says it would have been better for Fury had we done the immediate rematch closer to the February fight when things weren't understood. But he said he's 100%, he's healed, and people will get to see the true Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And some people said he was making excuses, but I personally believe Wilder. He said he took the mask off and he said, oh, I felt funny, I felt drained, I felt like something was off, right? He said he felt real lethargic, something was going on. And then he believes somebody spiked or poisoned or gave him something that made him drowsy or whatever the case is, made videos about it. Just look at Tyson Fury's glove. This is the second fight. It looks almost like a keloid or a comb or the bat signal. It just looks like there's impressions and indentation. Now, ironically enough, Tyson Fury, Mr. White Privilege with the complexion for the protection, must be a good thing. Tyson Fury, despite failing past drug tests, the whole situation with Martin Carefoot, the fact that he's failed multiple drug tests, the fact that he's been a two-time champion and has never defended his title, yet and still, people refuse to look at the second Wilder fight as if something was wrong. Wilder saying what he's saying and saying that something was off with the glove. When you clearly look at pictures of the glove and it looks amiss like this, it just doesn't look like the typical glove, and there's multiple angles and stuff. Looks like there's impressions. This is the first fight. You see a lot of room above the war tape and the wrapping, like you could put something in there. His glove is bending, which Wilder kind of depicted in his video. Despite all this, Tyson Fury is always given the benefit of the doubt. People say, hey, despite all these weird things you've said, these comments, anti-Semitic comments, homophobic, sexist comments that you made, failing multiple drug tests, acting weird, saying weird things, the fact that the second fight looked totally different than, and Wilder's ear was bleeding, you know, despite all of these things, they say there's no way that Tyson Fury could or would cheat. You know what I'm saying? Look at the condition of Wilder's face, right? Look at the condition of Wilder's face, ear bleeding and stuff like that. And Wilder feels otherwise. But great thing for rematch clauses and Wilder winning the arbitration. Now, Wilder was also bloody and his ear was like perforated or punctured or something. You see blood streaming down his ear and stuff. That's not typically something you see in boxing. In UFC, maybe where you have like bony, spiny elbows and you can kick the opponent, toes, things like that. Maybe you can see someone's ear busted or blown, but you don't really typically see that in boxing where somebody's ear is just bleeding and their equilibrium looks bad and stuff like that. Yet and still, despite these things, here's another video I did. Look at this man's glove, bro. And this is the gallery that is now missing, right? It looks like it's devoid of all padding. There doesn't seem to be any real padding there. But despite Wilder's concerns, people say, oh, he's just crying. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see how this second fight looks. This does not look right, you know, and it doesn't take Stevie Wonder. These look like kitchen latex gloves. They don't even look like, you know, like you're washing dishes, doing chores around the house with those little latex gloves, and you got a spray bottle and a sponge. These don't look like fully padded heavyweight gloves, right? But Fury is given the benefit of the doubt. It looked nothing like the first fight, and people are content with that. Wilder seemed out of it. He said he was out of it, but him being the true warrior that he is, he just maintained with the fight. He said he could have just turned around and said, hey, something's up. I can't do it. He said, but I'm a warrior, so y'all got to let me go out on my shield. Now, if that wasn't enough, I think another thing that has to pose a lot of fear to the Tyson Fury fans is this. So we already know, as I demonstrated, the first fight looked nothing like the second fight. Fury ducked the immediate rematch and then teamed up with Top Rank. This second fight was a Top Rank production, mostly with ESPN. Even though Fox was attached to it, they decided to let one network kind of helm the production entirely. And then the second fight, which Fury tried to get out of, was going to go to Fox. And that's why you see Fox is doing the flyers and they're the lead promoter, if you will, because it was a pair of fights, right? Now, despite all these things and these inconsistencies that people failed to look at, and Fury tried to run from the rematch immediately. He did successfully, teamed up with Top Rank, blah, 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 right? He tried to run again and fight Anthony Joshua as opposed to fight. So this man has been accused of cheating and glove tampering, and he had a contractual fight to fight Wilder again, right? And he decided he was going to try to fight a different person. So the guy who got demolished and is bleeding from every orifice is the guy that's pushing for the fight and legally had to take the other guy to court to make sure. The guy with bloody mouth, a bloody ear, and blood trickling down his chest that got the fight stopped and blood all over his wraps is the guy that still wanted more. That has to raise some serious suspicions. Beyond that, let's look at the other circumstantial evidence, right? Tyson Fury's team, namely his dad in this example, have shown two different hands, right? Before the first fight, Tyson Fury's dad, this is what he said. This is the UK publication, The Sun. A father's fear. Tyson Fury's dad, John, warned him ahead of the first Wilder fight that, quote, he'd never speak to him again if he faced the Bronze Bomber. So before the first fight, his own dad says, if you fight this guy Wilder, and I'm telling you not to fight him, and this is why, look at Fury in the first fight. If you fight this killer Wilder, I will never speak to you again. I've highlighted it for you. John Fury says, if you do that and fight Wilder, I'll never speak to you as long as I live because you will get hurt. You've just lost 10 stones in as many months. You're not fit at all, son. I said, leave it. You've had a couple of warm-up fights. Your strength ain't there. You cannot knock a hole in a wet paper bag. Where's your sense? His own father, before the first fight, is telling you that Fury is not a puncher. You cannot knock a hole in a wet paper bag. His own father says, or he said, Dad, I'm a fighting man. If I get beat, I get beat, blah, blah, blah. If he beats me, may the best man win. Your own father says you can't punch a hole through a wet paper bag. If you ever fight Wilder like this, then I'm going to disown you. This is his own father. Link in the description. DAZN. Tyson Fury says own father thought Deontay Wilder would knock him out. This is this Fury family. For the first time in my life, my dad said to me, you're not what you once was. He said, you're finished. You're not at the level anymore. So his own dad didn't believe in him. Here's the video so you guys can see. So he said, I fought Wilder too soon. So the family went, he actually begged me not to take the fight, Fury. He didn't think I'd just lose. He thought I'd get severely hurt. Wow. The truth always comes out. That's not good enough to go 5 rounds with Deontay Wilder, his dad told him, right? He actually begged me. His dad, he's begging. His dad begged him not to take the fight, Fury said. He didn't think I would just lose. He thought I'd get severely hurt. Then, ironically enough, somehow, some way, after the first fight and after Tyson Fury avoided the immediate rematch, John Fury, right, was so confident ahead. And the funny thing is, Wilder talked about this, which is what the great ego Stradamus told you. Somehow, some way, he went from that, he went from saying that, oh, don't fight him, I'll disown you, to before the second fight, when it finally happened, after ducking the immediate rematch, you see it on the screen. He says, oh, actually, I don't want to pull it up for copyright reason. Hold on 1 second, y'all. It says, I will bet you $100,000, John Fury. So all of a sudden, before the month of the second fight, John Fury was so sure that he wanted to bet former heavyweight and cruiserweight champion $100,000 that his son would tear Wilder up and walk him down. And David Haye was like, you crazy. Wilder, I sparred him before. The kid hits, boom, boom, boom. So what changed? What changed? Your father went from saying, I'll disown you if you fight this guy. You're nothing. You're a shell of your former self, to all of a sudden being so confident and saying, oh, he's going to destroy Wilder and walk through him. And if this doesn't lead you to believe that Wilder may be onto something with the Fury cheat, I don't know what it is. Because all this newfound confidence doesn't just come out of thin air. And this is what Wilder said on the podcast, and this is what I said. Furthermore, fast forward to the future. So after going before the first fight, his wife Paris said, this man's gonna kill you. They were treating Wilder like he Ivan Drago. And in the second fight, now all of a sudden he want to bet David Haye $100,000 that Wilder gets dropped like a bad habit. And he was supremely confident. And that's the fight in question primarily that got the stoppage, where his son had the gloves that looked tampered with. Fast forward to the future, when Wilder wins the arbitration, John Fury is upset of the Anthony Joshua fallout, worried about the Wilder fight. Now, fast forward to the future, the same dad says, this is what happens when you get to the top. You got a lot of leeches and yes men. I had no interest in Fury fighting Wilder. I told him on a phone conversation to chuck the belt into the trash bin. He wants his son, which Wilder talked about today, he wants his son to avoid Wilder at all costs and chuck the belt into the bin and let Wilder have it and still fight AJ as was planned by Eddie Hearn. So if this doesn't raise serious red flags, I don't know what to tell y'all. How did we go from before the first Wilder fight, Wilder's too dangerous, he's Ivan Drago, he's gonna kill you, you're no good, you're not the same, to before the second fight, he's betting David Haye large sums of money that Wilder gets demolished and bulldozed by his son he previously said couldn't get himself out of a wet paper bag. And then now when Wilder's saying, Tyson Fury, we got your number, Mark Breland's no longer on my team, I won the arbitration, I feel good, I feel great, watch what I do. Now his dad sound back scared. I'm concerned whether Tyson Fury can raise his game for Wilder, whether he gets complacent and makes a mistake. It's got a good chance of going wrong out there. The danger is getting fair play at the moment. The American boxing fraternity has been embarrassed from the last escapade. So now all of a sudden, he's switching his whole tune and sounding fearful, just like before the first fight. And you don't think Fury cheated. Ironic. The complexion for the protection. Now he's saying, why wouldn't Wilder take 20 million step aside? Because some things, sir, are greater than money. Redemption, retaliation, revenge, those things, money can't put a price on that. He's gonna get paid handsomely to fight Fury and try to F him up. And his dad's saying, hey, why don't you want step aside? Meanwhile, his son is lying, saying that Wilder's the one that wanted to step aside. And now he's saying, obviously, the powers that be are in America. They're calling the shots and they've trapped him. So this looks horrible. You know, you have to admit I did an excellent job of displaying this. We went from current worry ahead of the Fury Wilder 3, can Fury raise his game, to previously his father disowned him and says that Wilder's gonna knock you out, kid. You're not strong. You're in bad shape. And it says a father's fear. He was warned that he would never speak to him again. His own wife, Tyson Fury's wife. So whatever plan Tyson Fury contrived, I think that was the real reason for the Wilder second fight. And I think the third fight is gonna look totally different. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Use my link, as I said, for TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an awesome browser extension to help you level up your YouTube content. Take that to the next level so you can make money on this platform, YouTube, like yours truly. I've been using it for years, start off with 0 subscribers or over 200,000 and counting. And we here now. Use my link, get TubeBuddy. Can't wait for this fight, July 24th, now official. Wilder looks to be in great shape. Tyson Fury, not so much. And now his family sounds back scared. Amazing. Drop me a detailed comment and let me know what you think. We working. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster. We working.